Dinar shift, let's talk about the developments that are fundamentally reshaping the future prospects of the Iraqi dinar and its place in the global financial system. For a long time, the discussion has been overshadowed by endless speculation and unverified claims, particularly concerning which financial institutions would ultimately be authorized to handle foreign currency exchanges for the dinar. This constant flow of rumors, unconfirmed documents, and general internet chatter has made it incredibly difficult for holders and interested parties to discern genuine, factual updates from pure fiction. However, as we move through 2025, the picture is beginning to clear, showing a coordinated, systematic effort by Iraq to integrate its banking sector into the stringent framework of international finance. It's a quiet but profound transformation that is happening not in the forums, but in the operational and compliance departments of major banks, both within Iraq and globally. This process is the true sign of preparation, setting the stage for what comes next. The crucial question on everyone's mind is whether actual banks are genuinely readying themselves for the day the dinar is more freely exchanged, and the verifiable evidence suggests that a significant and ongoing effort is indeed underway. Over the past couple of years, particularly throughout 2024 and continuing into 2025, numerous prominent financial institutions across Iraq have been diligently upgrading their core systems. This modernization is far from cosmetic. It involves substantial technical work to align their infrastructure with the latest international standards for foreign exchange compliance. Specifically, this means adopting sophisticated digital financial networks, integrating with real-time gross settlement systems, which are the backbone of rapid global transfers, and implementing robust updates to their anti-money laundering's AML protocols. These are not actions taken on a whim or based on a rumor. They are essential steps that any nation must complete to secure full international compatibility for its currency. This drive toward technological and regulatory modernization is, in essence, an intensive inspection phase for Iraq's financial entities. Think of it as a comprehensive regulatory overhaul designed to ensure that the country's banks can operate reliably and transparently on the global stage. For years, holders of the dinar, both international and domestic, have been waiting for clear, undeniable indicators that this process was moving forward. What we are witnessing now are tangible signals from the Central Bank of Iraq, CBI, and associated institutions. The CBI has consistently emphasized the importance of improving regulatory oversight, bolstering system transparency, and expanding the reach of digital payment gateways that connect with key regional and global partners. These steps are a clear precursor to a financial system ready for broader, more serious international participation, moving well beyond being simply an oil-exporting economy. It is vital to understand that the true preparation is not being leaked online, but is occurring through rigorous internal system updates. Banks, especially those engaged in sensitive foreign exchange operations, do not publicize or leak their strategic and compliance-related information. They work behind the scenes until the technical and regulatory frameworks are fully complete. This phase of quiet readiness is exactly where Iraq's banking system finds itself today. It is a period defined by establishing a robust, modern foundation rather than by sensationalist headlines. The focus is on verifiable readiness, ensuring the systems are in place, the staff is trained, and the compliance requirements of global regulators are met. This shift from mere speculation to technical execution is the most accurate sign of future intent. Understanding what exchange readiness truly entails is key to interpreting current events correctly. It is not an immediate switch that will see every single bank worldwide suddenly trading the dinar at any new price. Instead, it signifies the comprehensive establishment of the necessary technical and legal infrastructure that makes such trading possible once monetary policy decisions allow for greater currency convertibility. This foundation includes setting up specialized foreign exchange desks capable of efficiently managing regional currencies, deploying high-level systems to verify the authenticity of all transactions, and securing the necessary regulatory clearances for each currency traded. These are legal and operational requirements that cannot be bypassed or shortcut. Iraq's recent, strong emphasis on bolstering its regulatory compliance and cultivating strong correspondent banking ties with reputable international partners demonstrates a serious, focused commitment to meeting these non-negotiable standards. In a highly encouraging sign for greater global trust, numerous international financial monitoring bodies have publicly acknowledged the tangible progress Iraq has made in aligning its banking practices with the global standards set by organizations like the Financial Action Task Force (FDF) concerning anti-money laundering's AML. This kind of third-party recognition is perhaps one of the most significant advancements toward securing international financial confidence. Trust is, after all, the indispensable bedrock upon which all global currency exchange is built. Without a credible, transparent, and compliant banking sector, no currency can achieve widespread acceptance. The focus has been on demonstrating a long-term commitment to a secure and traceable financial environment, a cornerstone for economic stability. Looking at the domestic landscape, a considerable number of Iraqi banks, encompassing both the large state-owned institutions and various private sector entities, have been actively enrolled in modernization initiatives. These comprehensive programs are explicitly designed to prepare them for the complexities of international currency operations. The central bank's overarching objective is to standardize procedures and technical capabilities across the entire licensed banking sector. This ensures that any bank authorized to conduct foreign exchange activities operates under a unified, strict set of traceable and accountable protocols. This is not solely about facilitating the dinar's exchange, it is a transformative effort aimed at elevating Iraq into a reliable, stable, and credible participant in the broader regional and international financial markets. As evidence of this domestic evolution, prominent Iraqi institutions, including historically significant banks such as Rafidain and Rashid alongside many forward-thinking private banks, have noticeably expanded their digital offerings. They have introduced sophisticated online payment portals and established crucial links with international remittance systems. Each of these successful implementations represents a critical building block in the creation of a much more interconnected and globally integrated currency ecosystem. These improvements in digital accessibility and payment efficiency are fundamental, showing that the foundational work to support a more active currency is well in hand, making domestic and cross-border transactions simpler and more transparent. The desire among many foreign dinar holders to know if major global institutions like Chase, Wells Fargo, or HSBC will eventually handle the dinar is understandable, but it requires a realistic perspective on how the global financial market operates. The reality is that major Western banks will not transact in any currency unless it meets strict international standards for liquidity, convertibility, and full regulatory approval. However, this does not imply that they are ignoring Iraq altogether. The pathway to working with these institutions is established through correspondent banking relationships. As a nation successfully rebuilds its banking system and achieves consistent monetary stability, these global banks enter into correspondent agreements, allowing local Iraqi banks to process critical foreign transactions through their secure, worldwide networks. This is a progressive, stage-by-stage process that is currently in motion. The groundwork for these essential future partnerships is being diligently laid right now. This is primarily being achieved through continuous upgrades in compliance and the secure sharing of data between Iraq's domestic financial institutions and the sprawling network of global payment channels. The preparation is focused on system-to-system integration and regulatory adherence, which are the only mechanisms capable of earning the trust of major international financial players. This approach, grounded in technical and legal necessity, is the opposite of the sensationalist speculation often seen online, reinforcing that the critical developments are structured and fact-based. These silent, continuous upgrades are the real story. A widespread misconception that needs to be permanently dispelled is the enduring myth of secret, clandestine lists of banks waiting behind closed doors for a sudden, dramatic currency exchange event. This narrative has persisted for years without any credible basis. The authentic preparation for greater currency convertibility is, in fact, remarkably transparent for those who know exactly where to look. It is accomplished through the systematic, public alignment of banking systems, not through hidden internal memos. The genuine story is clearly revealed in official policy updates, verifiable digital infrastructure overhauls, and documented economic reforms issued by official government and banking sources. The financial institutions that will ultimately be tasked with facilitating future exchanges are precisely the ones that are diligently upgrading their core systems today. They are the ones ensuring that every transaction, regardless of its size or origin, can be fully verified, securely tracked, and formally approved in strict adherence to international legal and financial statutes. This meticulous, comprehensive focus on accountability and compliance represents the true extent of the ongoing preparation. It is here, in the technical and regulatory trenches, that the real progress is being made, far away from unverified claims and unreliable social media leaks. This foundation of compliance is what gives the entire process its necessary legitimacy. Another powerful and undeniable indicator of substantial progress is Iraq's strong commitment to connecting its system with the established global settlement mechanisms. These crucial systems, which include the well-known SWIFT network and newer digital financial rails, are what permit banks in completely different countries to send, receive, and instantly verify cross-border payments. The continuing efforts in 2025 to expand compliance with these international payment standards are translating directly into smoother, more efficient international transfers and significantly improved data visibility for regulators. This technical aspect is critically important as no major international bank can confidently transact in a foreign currency without the guarantee of an immediate, traceable, and legally secure settlement system in place. With these advanced systems fully implemented, every transaction instantly becomes transparent, fully legal, and completely traceable, which is the fundamental demand of global financial markets. For every holder of the dinar, this means that each successful technical upgrade completed brings Iraq one significant step closer to achieving its much-sought global recognition within the financial community. The accumulation of these small, verifiable technical steps is what eventually leads to major, structural change, fundamentally altering the dinar's standing. It underscores the importance of focusing on official, documented progress rather than sensationalist speculation. It is essential to emphasize why a strategy of informed patience is so critical in this process. Currency transitions of this magnitude are inherently among the slowest and most tightly controlled financial processes globally. They demand consistent, coordinated cooperation among central banks, finance ministries, and a host of international partners. While many are conditioned to expect sudden, overnight announcements or viral news about dramatic revaluations, this expectation does not align with the established reality of global finance. When substantial change occurs, it is always channeled through verified, official government releases and reported on credible global news and reporting platforms. The investors and currency holders who ultimately succeed are those who internalize this reality and consistently prioritize studying authenticated, verifiable updates over chasing unproven rumors and speculation. A guiding principle in matters of finance must be that legitimate, factual truth is always publicly accessible. It is never concealed within anonymous online posts or private circles. Therefore, for the ordinary dinar holder or curious observer, the process of verifying actual updates is surprisingly straightforward and effective. The most reliable course of action is to go directly to the source. Consult the official announcements and policy statements of the Central Bank of Iraq. Furthermore, regularly check the official websites of major Iraqi commercial banks to see what specific foreign exchange services they are publicly advertising and offering. If located outside Iraq, call the bank's dedicated foreign currency or international wire transfer department, not the branch teller, and ask them directly about their current policy on buying or selling Iraqi dinar. They will provide a clear, definitive, and factual answer, eliminating the need to rely on years of recirculated misinformation. One of the most telling and often overlooked pieces of evidence pointing to Iraq's serious financial modernization is the intensive focus on upgrading payment systems within the country's domestic borders. Local merchants, numerous government institutions, and all major banks are now actively utilizing interconnected digital platforms that enable instantaneous settlements and vastly improved record keeping. This domestic efficiency is a crucial prerequisite for international respect. A currency must first function seamlessly and transparently within its own country before it can hope to be fully integrated and respected internationally. The establishment of this cleaner, faster domestic system is also intrinsically linked to tackling corruption and promoting financial transparency. Two major non-negotiable demands from the international community for deeper integration. It is important to acknowledge the human element in this long-running story. Many individuals have held the dinar for many years, driven by a patient hope and an unwavering belief in a more stable financial future for the nation. That patience is certainly respectable, but it must remain firmly anchored in verifiable facts. Every policy step Iraq takes, from banking system upgrades to compliance implementation, constitutes a genuine move toward a stronger economic position. However, this entire journey is fundamentally built upon structured, deliberate policy actions, not on fleeting, easy promises. The most intelligent and effective strategy is not to passively wait for some secret, mythical announcement, but to proactively learn how to accurately interpret and understand the public, documented progress being made. Every new regulation, every digital network connection, and every formal financial reform tells a profound story of preparation. Those who can accurately read these indicators will always be positioned ahead of those who only chase rumors. As of 2025, the overall financial landscape in Iraq is genuinely entering an entirely new phase characterized by cautious but increasing confidence. The government has openly supported numerous projects specifically designed to stabilize currency flow, strongly incentivize electronic transactions, and gradually reduce the long-standing national dependency on cash. This is far more than simple modernization. It represents a fundamental, structural transformation of the economy. These cumulative improvements are crucial because they create genuine, structural stability in the dinar's underlying value and actively encourage the formation of new, essential foreign partnerships. As this international trust continues to grow and solidify, the potential for more widely recognized and official currency exchanges naturally increases. It is a predictable domino effect, where each necessary reform systematically sets the stage for the next major milestone in the process. This is precisely why serious financial analysts worldwide are monitoring Iraq's verifiable banking progress so very closely at this time. The role of advanced digital platforms is rapidly reshaping the entire conversation surrounding currency exchange. A growing number of banks are now strategically connecting their core operational systems to advanced digital foreign exchange services. This critical step means that in the foreseeable future, currency conversions, even for currencies that are currently less traded like the dinar, could occur almost instantly, with a high degree of security, and in a fully transparent manner. Iraq's documented participation in various international digital compliance frameworks, along with its active integration into regional payment bridges, clearly demonstrates that the technical and legal groundwork required for these sophisticated advancements is being meticulously laid. Therefore, while the popular conversation often focuses solely on rumors, Iraq is quietly, methodically constructing the necessary digital infrastructure for a fundamental financial transformation that will eventually be self-evident and announced only when it is fully operational and compliant. Another critically important step that deserves significant attention is Iraq's strong, ongoing coordination with major international monitoring bodies. This partnership is specifically aimed at guaranteeing that its banks meet all mandatory anti-money laundering's AML and counter-terrorism financing (CTF) requirements. These are not minor optional adjustments, they represent mandatory, non-negotiable prerequisites before any country can participate freely and fully in the multi-trillion-dollar global foreign exchange markets. The higher the level of compliance Iraq successfully achieves, the greater the confidence international financial institutions will have in conducting legitimate business with the nation. This entire process is a long-term exercise in building sustained, reliable trust, and while trust takes time and consistent effort, the fundamental direction of travel is unambiguously clear and steady. At this important juncture, it is entirely logical and necessary to ask, what does all this verified information truly signify for you, the individual holder of the dinar? In simple terms, your most effective and sound strategy is a combination of comprehensive awareness and committed patience. It is essential to continuously track official, credible financial news and completely disregard unverified rumors. You must follow updates released by legitimate banking authorities. When and if new, broader exchange opportunities genuinely open up, they will strictly be channeled through fully legitimate, regulated, and internationally compliant banking avenues. It is a certainty that no real licensed bank will ever ask you to exchange your currency through private, questionable, or unverified offers. The moment a new policy or rate adjustment is formally introduced, it will be instantly visible to every single person through official central bank announcements and formal public documentation. You will never require any secret access to participate in something that is truly real and legitimate. It is also an extremely smart practice to understand the core elements that determine a currency's true value. A nation's currency is a reflection of its fundamental economic productivity, its trade balance, and its overall economic and political stability. Iraq has been actively engaged in rebuilding all three of these pillars, consistently expanding its substantial oil revenue, actively diversifying its export base, and strategically investing in new technology and infrastructure. This powerful combination strengthens the fundamental economic backing and technical readiness behind the dinar's inherent value. When you observe these verifiable economic shifts occurring simultaneously alongside the deep-seated banking sector reforms, that is your clearest, most reliable sign of true, tangible progress. Currencies increase their standing and value based on verifiable, real-world growth, not on speculative internet hype. Some in the community frequently ask whether a redenomination or a significant rate adjustment for the Iraqi dinar is a likely near-term possibility. The most responsible and honest answer is that any such monumental move would only be implemented after a period of full economic stabilization and with the necessary formal approval of global financial partners. Governments, as a rule, never implement sudden, unexpected overnight currency changes on the world stage. It is always an organized, meticulously planned, public, and legally verified multi-stage process. Therefore, if you ever encounter anyone promising a private, immediate exchange opportunity or claiming to possess secret, proprietary insider information, the safest and smartest action is to completely disengage and walk away. The only truly safe place to put your trust is in the official government and banking channels, never in unverified social media chatter. Another key aspect of the comprehensive progress seen in 2025 is Iraq's relentless strategic effort to solidify and strengthen its partnerships with regional and international trade allies. The more bilateral and multilateral trade flows are officially conducted through fully compliant banking systems, the greater the genuine, organic demand for the dinar and cross-border transactions becomes. This organic, real, world demand, not pure speculation, is the reliable, long-term force that ultimately builds a currency's international liquidity. Liquidity is the essential factor that allows banks to confidently exchange a currency, secure in the knowledge that it can be easily and quickly bought and sold on the global market. Consequently, every single trade agreement Iraq formally signs and every increase in its non-oil exports is indirectly, but powerfully, building verifiable, tangible momentum for the dinar's increased international presence and future exchangeability. Finally, we cannot ignore the profound and accelerating way that financial technology, Fintech, is completely changing the dynamics of the entire currency conversation. As advanced technologies like blockchain, digital ledgers, and sophisticated digital verification tools become more widespread, secure cross-border exchanges are becoming inherently faster, safer, and cheaper to execute. Iraq's strategic decision to aggressively modernize its banking sector within this prevailing global digital trend perfectly positions it for a smoother, more transparent foreign exchange integration process. When any national currency becomes an integral part of a fully transparent and traceable digital system, it automatically and quickly gains immense international credibility. And that, in a nutshell, is precisely the reliable, compliant financial system that Iraq has been diligently and methodically building. So here is the clear and factual summary of where the situation stands in 2025. The domestic banks are undergoing a massive, necessary modernization. The complex digital systems are being rigorously tested and implemented. The government is successfully tightening its regulatory oversight and control, and the global financial world is now paying attention. This is certainly not yet the final conclusion or the finish line, but it definitively represents the strongest, most compliant, and most prepared position Iraq has been in for many years. Every technical upgrade, every policy alignment with global standards, and every trade expansion is an undeniable piece of evidence pointing toward a national currency that is actively preparing for something significantly bigger and more open. No honest person or institution can provide you with an exact date or a final rate, but anyone who focuses on the documented facts can clearly see that the verifiable foundation for greater exchangeability is firmly taking shape right now in real time and in plain view. If you are a holder or a serious observer watching this broadcast and wondering how you should strategically prepare for what is to come, the answer remains simple and consistent: stay critically informed, not emotionally influenced. Securely maintain all of your currency documents. Know the verifiable, legitimate source and history of your currency, and resolve to only ever deal with officially licensed, recognized financial institutions. If any opportunity sounds too generous or simply too good to be genuinely true, you must recognize that it almost certainly is a deceptive trap. The most consistently successful investors are always those who employ patience and due diligence as their primary strategy and rely solely on verified, factual information as their absolute guide. When genuinely real and structural changes ultimately happen, you will not need an unverified private rumor to tell you. The entire world will already be talking about it through official, credible channels. Let's conclude this analysis with a single, clear, and focused message. The documented modernization and foreign exchange readiness of Iraq's banking sector are not stories based on speculative fantasy. They are undeniable stories of structured, measurable, and documented progress, real, visible, and fully traceable progress. The dinar's patient journey toward wider international exchangeability is not a mythical hope, it is a meticulously managed process that is unfolding step by step right now. When this entire comprehensive process finally reaches its necessary completion, the news will not be quietly whispered in anonymous online forums. It will be formally announced through the highest official government channels, immediately confirmed by every compliant, licensed bank, and visibly reflected across major global markets. That is, and always has been, the only way that genuine structural financial change truly occurs: openly, transparently, and strictly within the boundaries of the law. If you have followed this entire detailed report, you are already far ahead of the majority of people who relentlessly chase shortcuts and rumors instead of verifiable knowledge. Stay level-headed, remain financially smart, and commit to watching only verified official developments. Iraq's profound financial transformation is moving forward with purpose and direction. As long as you maintain your focus strictly on the official facts, you will always possess the most accurate and reliable understanding of where things truly stand.